Hello friends, a warm welcome to Family Recipe Girl session. Today let's learn how to make GSB style kotto. Kotto is nothing but leaf idli. The same batter that you use for making idlis is poured into these pockets here that I've already made and kept. See, it's a beautiful pocket made with sticks like this, and the leaves are strewn together, and they make a pocket like this in which the batter is poured and the kottos are steamed in a steamer, and it's very tasty and yummy and super soft. So let's see what are the things that we need for this to make the kottos. Actually, I have used this broomstick. Now don't say what is she doing with a broomstick. I have kept one broom exclusively for this purpose. I don't use it for anything else. So you see this normal broomsticks that you get like this. The top portion will not be used. Only the middle portion and the thick bottom portion also won't be used. But you can slit it and then use it. This thing is end part is very thick, so that is not suitable. The middle portion is lightly thin, that is good, and the end portion is very soft, so you won't be able to prick the leaves with this stick. So for my convenience, what I have done is I have already made them into bits of 2 inches. You can see that. So my work will be done faster. So now what we need is 4 leaves are required to make one kotto, and the size of the leaves should be same. You need to use the same sized leaves, and they should be washed thoroughly, wiped clean with a cloth, and then used. Now let me go into showing you how to make the kottos. But before that, if the leaves are very big, we can make single leaf kotto also. That will also be shown later in the video. So let's get making. Now while pouring the batter, you need to hold the biggest leaf with the stalk and then pour the batter into this. Suppose you feel these 3 are a distraction, just chop off them with a scissor like this, snip them off. So you will get 3 sides blunt and the 4th side will be with the stem. So you can lift it like this. Even after it is done, you can simply lift it out from the steamer like this. And to pour the batter also, it will be very easy. First let me show you how to make a kotto with a single leaf. You need to turn it around like this. The leaf will be like this. Just fold the stem part and then overlap this like this, and then prick it with the stick that we have already kept. This should not be open here. The end part should be completely closed, otherwise the batter will come out of this hole. So you need to stick the sticks like this through the leaf and then pierce it like this and sew them together. And one more here, because this will open when it is steamed. So one more at the top. There we go. Beautiful kotto mold is ready. I'll make another one so that you can be sure of knowing how it is done. You need to keep this side open like this, and then fold this tail part should be overlapped like this. This should be completely closed, and then prick your stick at the bottom, slowly, gently pierce it out, and the bottom part is ready. Now the same goes to the top portion. Now it is beautifully done. See, 1 ladle of batter will be used for making this size kotto. Now I'll show you how to make with 4 leaves. So we have 2 leaves here. They should be of the same size as I told. Overlap it like this and then fasten them together with one stick like this. Be careful, don't prick your own fingers. And now the third leaf should be adjacent to the leaves here like this. Hope you are getting it. And then prick it from here. So these three leaves are held together now. Now you turn it this side and then place your fourth leaf overlapping the third one and then fasten them together here like this. Now this will be the base on which the koto will stand like this. The bottom portion will come here. So this is the portion that will be standing on the idli stand. Now turn it like this. The wrong side inside, the right side should be out. Now the leaf that is outside here like this, not this one, this is on top. The leaf that is outside here at the bottom, as you can see, should be held like this with your four fingers, and with the thumb lift it up and then overlap this corner like this. Just fold it over and then should be held together like this with a stick. Then one more for the top portion. So it is done like this. Now we go to the opposite one, the adjacent one, and then see, two are held together. The third leaf should be again held like this and the corners held together. Fold it up and then fasten them together like this. Now for the fourth stick, now this is done like this. So now these two need to be held together. So you need to put the outer leaf, you need to fold it like this and then bring the other leaf together. So it will be soon like this. Put one finger inside, the other two here out, and then hold them together and prick slowly. And then one more stick at the top. So three sides are done. Now the fourth one is left. Now this leaf is outside. So we'll fold that leaf like this, bring them together and then prick with the stick. So this is done, and one more to go at the top like this. So a beautiful koto is made. This holds around 2 ladles of idli batter. Now our leaf idli mold is ready. The kotos are ready. Now this single leaf idli is called suva. Suva is actually a needle in Konkani. So what we do is, after arranging all these things in the steamer, the middle portion of 4 koto, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 koto, the middle portion will be having some space. So we pour the batter in this and then keep it in the center like this, and it stands there. So you'll have another place for an extra koto. So once you arrange all the idlis, they don't fall off like this, so don't worry. Since it will be laden with batter, it will be heavy, so it will stand in the idli stand. Now this is a family favorite. So what I have done is, I have taken 1 cup of urad dal, and I usually buy the best quality urad dal, the first grade of urad dal. So the volume of the batter will be really very great. You get different types of urad dal, but try to buy the best urad dal. It will give best results. Now I have taken 1 cup of, you can see this, it's a 1 cup measurement cup. It's 250 grams, 1 cup. So I have taken 1 cup of urad dal, and in this pav, it's the same measurement of 1 cup, but 1 measure of this will be 1 heaped measure of this 1 cup. You can take either of them. Now this dal has been soaking for more than 2 hours now, and you can see they have really soaked up and grown in volume. So now we will grind this batter. While grinding the batter, make sure you don't add all the water all the time for grinding. I mean at a time. You can put water little by little in batches so that the urad dal gets beautifully ground. You can see that my urad dal is in the grinder grinding, and that should be the consistency, the water that needs to be poured into it. Add little by little. Now you can see that the batter is at the bottom. As it gets done, it comes right up to the brim. So let me show you later when it is well done. Not exactly to the brim, at least the batter will come right up to this stand. Now that will take a good 15 to 20 minutes. So let's wait. Now after 5 minutes of grinding, the batter is this thick. So I need to add some more water. Getting thinner, as you can see. Now you can add some more water and let it grind again. Now my kotos are all done and ready. I have just inverted them and put in a bowl so that nothing goes inside it like dust, and then cover it and keep. Tomorrow morning after the idli steamer is hot, we'll pour the batter in this and steam them. After about 13 minutes, the batter is this thick. I'll add some more water. See, as I said, it's already come 3/4 of the grinder vessel. Now after about 20 minutes, the batter is like this. It will be like this, and just slightly push it with the spatula, push it down, and then let it grind further. Now my batter is done, so I'll stop the grinder. Now the consistency of the batter should be this thick, not thinner than this. See? It should be thick but flowing like this. So this is the right consistency. Now I'll remove the batter and then I'll show you. This is how it should flow, this thick. Now take this batter in a slightly bigger vessel, because in hot humid climates the batter tends to ferment really well and it might come up to the brim. Now after grinding, this is the amount of batter that has come up. The yield is really good. So now I'll show you the amount of water that I used to wash the grinder. See, this was the cup that I had taken, the urad dal which I had measured in. So I'm not even using half cup of it. This may be less than half but more than quarter. So I'll just pour this. I won't add any more water today. Tomorrow after adding idli rava, if need arises, I'll add more water. Now let's add salt to taste. I always use powder because they mix very well with the batter. If you add sea salt, they just remain in some places and it comes in the idli. Even after steaming, it just stays like that. Sometimes it doesn't melt. So always use powder. So add salt to taste. Some more because I'll be adding rava tomorrow. Now this is sufficient. Now don't touch this, just leave it as it is. What some people do is they already have added salt now. They'll add the idli rava also today only and then mix it well and keep. But then if you add idli rava today, I feel the batter ferments very badly. So I'm going to add idli rava tomorrow morning and let it stand for half an hour before I steam. Now just cover it with the lid and let it ferment. Now you can see that After 8 hours of fermenting the batter has really risen very well. It has come up to the brink. Now I am just going to mix it properly so that the salt get mixed. It's mixed well. Now the batter batter has gone a little down. You can see the consistency. Now I'll mix the idli rava. I had taken 1 cup of urad dal yesterday, so I actually need to add 2, but I won't add 2 since my family loves very soft idlis. I'm going to add either 1.5 or 1/3/4. After mixing, I'll see if I need to add all this or a bit of it remains. I'll tell you later. Now I'm going to add this 1 cup of rava and give it a thorough mix. Now I'm going to add the next 3/4 cup I've just kept, but I'm not going to add all that. I have saved 1/4 cup and I'll see if I need to add, I'll add them. After adding the rava, I felt this much was sufficient. Now as you can see, just 2 tablespoons of rava is still remaining. I have not added all. After adding, the batter is a little thick, so it's not flowing so easily. It's a little thick. The rava has soaked up the water content from the batter. So now I'll add water. So just to give you an idea how much water is needed, I'll pour this in a bowl and I will mix the water using the cup measurement itself. I have taken 1/4 cup of water in this now. I'll pour the water into the batter and give it a thorough mix. Now check out the batter consistency. After adding water, it's flowing like this again. But upon standing for another 15-20 minutes, again it will thicken. But then that should be sufficient. This should be the consistency. That's the right consistency. After standing it for another 15-20 minutes, we'll steam the kotos. Now we can see that I have an idli steamer like this. I've just put on the gas, it's on high, and added water. And I need to add water right till this place because I'm going to steam this for around 20 minutes and this much water is needed. Otherwise the water will evaporate and the steamer will get charred at the bottom. And then I'm going to place a stand like this, a perforated plate. And remember, as in idli, we can't keep many layers of kotos. We just need to have just one layer of koto. It's going to sit on this stand and one layer at a time is to be steamed. I'll gently close this lid and keep it like this till the water boils. Now after standing the batter for around 15-20 minutes, this is the consistency. Check it out. Now this is good enough to steam them. Now very important tip coming your way. The steamer has to be hot like this. You can see the smokes coming up. So now let's put the kotos inside it. Now as you can see, yesterday I had cut the 3 leaf stems like this. Now I am going to hold this like this and then pour the batter in this. Filling the koto mold to 3/4 level is sufficient. Don't fill it right up to the brim. And then place it in the idli steamer. Now they'll stand like this. Don't worry, they won't fall off. Now I'll show you how to put them in this. The leaf that has come outside like this, just hold it out like this. This is inside. It will be little difficult. Hold this like this. You'll get enough space to pour the batter. And then each time you pour the batter, this is a tip coming your way. just mix it like this and then pour the batter, because the idli rava tends to go and sit at the bottom. Mix it and then pour it in the mold and place it for steaming. Now you can see that I have placed all the kotos in the steamer, and you can see these little pockets, the place in between the 4 kotos. You can see the place in between the 4 kotos here. I place this soup in that portion. This is another, see. So in between we have little pockets where we can put this. Since we are going to do it in only one batch, these are the extra places where we can keep the soup. Now I'll close the lid and let it steam for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now my steamer is closed and I'm going to keep it on high for 20 minutes or till done. Like, you can simply poke a knife in the koto, center of the koto, and check if the knife comes out clean, it is done. Or you can even poke it with a toothpick and see, or any skewers. This koto, after it is done, imparts a beautiful flavor from the leaf, and the koto tastes heavenly. So please give it a try and let me know. During this lockdown period, since most of us don't have maids coming over, this is a great opportunity to make kotos, because it will be that much lesser dishes to be washed. The idli molds can be simply thrown into the bin and you have less of utensils to do. And if you can get hold of jackfruit leaves, why not go for it? Now it's a good 20 minutes of steaming. I'll just open the lid, lower the flame first, open the lid, and our kotos are ready. Sorry for the steam. Now you can see the crack there. The crack that shows implies that the kotos are done and well cooked. But still, to make it sure, we'll just poke a koto and see. You need to have a lengthy knife like this, go deep into the koto, right to the bottom, and bring it out. It's come out clean and it's done. A little bit of koto will stick to the knife, but then I have already steamed it for 20 minutes and they are done. See, they are all done and finished. Now let's have our koto with chutney. Now we need a lovely chutney for the koto that we have made, right? So let's see what all things we need for that. I have taken 1 heaped cup of coconut. Because kotos are bland, you need a lot of chutney with them. It goes either with sambar, dali tove, rasam, tomato saru, any gunpowder, that is chutney powder, garlic chutney powder, any of them. But today I am making ghati chili and green chili combo chutney. So here goes. I have taken 5 of these red chilies. They are not spicy. I have taken 2 medium spicy green chilies. Now these 2 I have roasted in coconut oil. You can see the change in the color of the peel. And then 1 tamarind seed size tamarind. And then salt to taste. For the tadka, I'll have mustard seeds, curry leaves, little hing powder and coconut oil. Now these kotos can be topped with raw coconut oil and had also. You can have them with your butter, freshly homemade ghee, anything you fancy. Now I'll grind all these 4 together and then show you. After grinding the chutney, it will look like this. You can keep it to any consistency you like. Now let's give it a quick tadka. I've kept the tadka ready. The mustard is spluttering. I'll just put off the gas, add some hing powder, and then finish it off with curry leaves. Pour the tadka into the chutney and we are good to go. Now you can have your kotos with chutney, green chili pickle. The link is already in the provided in the previous episode. And then garlic chutney pitti. Garlic gunpowder can also be used with coconut oil. And check out the kotos, how soft they are. See, you just need to pull them like this, and then the koto is exposed, and here goes the koto. Just see how soft they are. See, check out the hollow koto in the center. This is how it should be. Thank you.
Please like, share and subscribe to Family Recipe Ghar. Thank you.